or I mean, you can get for free actually from the Dairy Council. Question, Paula.
Yes. What about those Snackwell cookies that are fat-free?
Okay, this is a good question. What about the Snackwell cookies that are fat-free? Where on the pyramid do they go? They still go in the others group, the fats, oils, and sweets, but they're a lower fat choice from the others group. If I go out and I eat 2 or 3 of those chocolate fudge Snackwells,
She's familiar with it.
yeah, they are good.
Yummy.
If I eat 3 of those or whatever the serving is, that's not going to count as a grain serving because I'm still getting more calories and nutrients. However, it's a lower fat choice. Just like fat-free, you can get fat-free potato chips now that still would go up on the others column. Filling up on those instead of the food groups, but they're, you know, again, they're sometimes foods.
Do they, being that they're potatoes and they're fat-free, do they lose their nutritional value?
Well, you know, they add a lot of salt to that, and there's, for the serving amount, you don't get much in the way of nutrients. So for that reason, those fat-free things tend to be towards the top of the pyramid. But again, they're lower fat choices and they're options that we have.
Those Snackwell cookies have to have something in them because they give me heartburn. And the thing, for some reason, just flared up.
Yeah.
And I just felt myself, I hadn't felt that feeling for so long, that awful feeling that you hold inside. You know, it's a terrible feeling inside. So, as you say, I didn't think about it. You just said it's just like a flashback of the whole reaction you had originally.
Yeah, it's like we're there again. It's
Yeah.
happening again.
So it was stored there, you know, well, and,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to say something that may be controversial, just to enlighten the group here. Do you think we really coddle the kids too much? Just one specific example. A fellow was upset in one of the classes, picked up this handmade inboxes. There were 3, they were kind of an antique thing the teacher had. Tossed it, broke it, and then didn't apologize. You know, he had a temper tantrum, and then ran to the one of the psychologists and talked with him. You know, because it was because of this, blah 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 blah. And in a sense, kind of abrogating his responsibility. I mean, and because it was so and so.
Criteria, just since you brought this up, the criteria for a good breakfast is what? How many food groups? It should have at least 3 food groups, okay? So anything goes. You can have leftover beef stew and a piece of bread, or a pizza, or you can have a traditional pancake with a glass of milk and some other and a piece of fruit. You know, you can have.
Looking for, because if I still make you dependent upon me, then you're needed, then I'm needed. If I let you go free, then I'm not needed anymore, and I don't feel that love. The 4th one is the lack in development. It certainly can be organic if you have a physical problem that's causing this. But abuse and neglect children, they're forced to use all of their energy to survive. They don't have any energy left to grow and protect themselves. Their major concern is surviving every single day. They'll lag way behind in their motor skills, language and socialization skills. They're not developed. You see that child coming into kindergarten, and you say, gee, why wasn't early intervention for them? Why hasn't this child been screened before? Why did they get enrolled in school? But those developmental lags can result in poor nutrition, damage to the nervous system, medical neglect. These children just have not been stimulated in the way that they've been able to survive.
It's really hard to have in the classroom.
The parents who are raising these children, are you too cocky? Parents who are raising these children, they have a lot of behaviors. They've usually never been parented at all. They don't know how. they've been neglected. When they have their children, they didn't come with a set of instructions on how to parent. They see a lot of teenage pregnancies with really young moms, 15, 14 years old. I'm going to have this baby is going to love me. This baby is going to give me, God bless you, all of the love that I need in my life.
A woman
Right?
talking to a man,
That's right.
and someone who is younger.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they entertain what she is even saying
Yeah.
is crossing a cultural line.
All right.
In her culture, the women don't have any power,
Right.
okay? So for the women in the family to step in, even if they saw something that's not right, they don't have any power. For her as an outsider to come in, it's even worse, so it puts her in a very different position than it would be for us to.
Sam, is there a way out of that? Because what I was just going to say to you is my final thing.
Before
Are you the
I,
only translator?
I even go into the house and everything, and I never thought of this, and then now I say, gee.
See, people don't Sam,
But that's, been quiet for a while.
Dolores Fitzgerald is really neat, and I think that should be something that you could go to her and say, I've got a little dilemma here, a professional dilemma, because I know that I have these things. Do you agree, Steve? She's in a cultural bind.
All we asked me to
And
go
you're
and
making
do
$60,000
it.
a year.
And then
Oh,
now
yeah.
I did say no, I did say no now and say, well, I'm sorry, I don't wanna go to, to the house, maybe you should find somebody else. Because I'm working with a child that,
Well, that's another issue perhaps the school department can look into in terms of.
There are 2 other Cambodian-speaking people in the building, and maybe we should do something about that, because it's not fair to Sam.
Right.
And there is a man, let him take care of it, I mean, if it takes to cross over into their culture, to do things the way they do it, to help these kids, then why not, go for it,
Exactly. What are we gonna do?
We'll take care of it.
Everyone here?
All right. Where are we going? Okay, we're gonna skip by, okay. In terms of the eyes and what to be looking for perhaps.
So when your parent shows up and they get eyes that look like that, or they're half closed, and they sort of smell of marijuana, they probably just, they might have been smoking before they got to you. By the way, have you seen that? Have you seen that when they come in to do the parent conferences? Do they come in looking like that?
Alcohol, for sure, probably.
The kids come in, they like to have stuff going on.
Not caring about anything in particular, just.
I'm also on the vocational end, so I get the ones who sneak in a little late.
For sure.
They've been on the kitchen part.
So your kids are older, so they're probably smoking before they get to school. That's what she said.
Across the nose, generally that would be because of the use of cocaine, snorting cocaine. A lot of nose irritations, red nose. In some cases, it'll burn right through the nasal passages, separation. We get to sleep patterns in terms of change.
If the parents are doing cocaine, they're not out. And the kids probably be getting themselves off to school by themselves. And they'll come in without breakfast and,
What time do we have left?
You have 25 minutes.
25 minutes, good. Mood swings, wow. Because at the high school level, that could
different mood swing they have.
be, yeah.
Reacting with the child,
Right.
I totally understand why the girl refuses to talk or talks like that.
Yeah.
But she still has some of the characteristics of like the improper word usage, like where she going is where she went.
Yep.
And so I can see that. I'm like, how do you talk to this mother who has just ruled this little girl's life up until she's been in preschool, and it's every day, it's the same thing.
That's real hard, because you don't want to walk up to a parent and say, you're doing this wrong, and look for it. And I've even started a conversation with, every time she asks you, like, give her your full attention, and you always answer a question. And then if there's a strategy that you think would be more helpful, it's really.
It's with a lot of things that I've read, their suggestion is to post a lot of these concepts around the room, take a look at the questions, put up some key questions that can get them thinking. If you start off a question as, I wonder, where does that fit on the scheme? Is that low level? Is that analysis? Is that synthesis? If you start off with how big is it? You know, what level is that? You can
videotape our dance.
Okay, everybody, we have to stop and start the presentation. That's it. We have 8 minutes left. As you can see, this works really well with children. They're just like you, focused, have a good time, they're really interested in what they're doing.
Communication is incredible.
Kids who normally don't get along, get along. It's amazing.
Things are the same area. So first of all, in our plan, we decided what is the difference between area and volume. So we figured that out. And then we took an average number of our area Rubik's Cubes per R feet. We came up with a number of 34. This was also an even number. So putting all of our shoes together with that. The tree was about the same size and shape. So I can guess that this would be very close in area to this. There was a triangle easel over there.
Exact same number we
And this is the same size. And here was another item.
And we were very well
And different shapes.
They can't answer the question.
Sometimes we'll ask what needs to be clarified too.
Another group?
See our graph, see our graph. They go from big to small, you see. They go from big to small, you see. 45, 43, 42, 38, 34, 33. See our graph.
Miren nuestro gráfico.
the showcase portfolio. So then when they pick up those things for the showcase portfolio, we can flip back on the, the chart paper, and they know the math that they use for the different tasks. And so since then, none of them are up here, you can't see them, but the kids do much better on figuring out why they chose the portfolio, and also the next day we solve it as a class, just because, just so that there's some closure with it. And then at that point, we list all the math that was put into that task. And so these are the entry slips that they use.
Okay, we're out of time. We're going to go over task development.
We have a lot of stuff that we want to do.
I think he understood that,
Yeah,
though.
that's what
I
I'm
got
saying,
the
too.
feeling that he understood where,
Now it
Yes.
has to go to the
yes.
Right.
Well, it's nice to feel like somebody who didn't really know it.
acknowledged it.
Somebody acknowledged it, exactly. Yes, I like that.
He did it in a very humanistic way.
Yes.
A nice humanistic approach that we're not used to.
Well, I think when you're looking at that,
How can we be released?
Cards don't reflect the way they teach now, and the idea of breaking it up, say doing 5 children this week and 5 children another week, makes a lot more sense. They can put a lot more thought into it, and they won't feel under such pressure to get it done.
People really put a lot of effort into presenting them, and I think that everyone has a better picture of what they can do for assessment through presentations today.
I think we have to find ways to engage the parents and make it clear to them so that they are our allies. So we can have the support.
kind of does. Try, disappears. I'm sure even after this pain disappears. Does that fit?
Yeah.
The roof of my mouth will be shredded for years. All right. Here is the moment you've been waiting for. Now I had trouble with this the last time. How here? Yeah. Take off just a little bit.
Appears.
You already know. We didn't even have to look at the whole word, did we? Disappears. Here. All right. Okay. Let's take a look now quickly at some more words. I chose dis today, and you know what that's called, I'm told. What is it? A prefix. It means we fixed the word before we even made it. Pre means at the beginning. Prefix. Let's think of some other words, some other forms for, well, let's do the first, the dis words. Or disapproval. Disapproval. Okay. Yeah, correct. Disobey. Read through some of these words one more time. Disapproval, disobey, disappearance, dislike, discover, dissolve, disconnected, disagreeing, disgrace, displace, distribute, discourage, disobey. You're great. Thanks so much. Do you have the what are they writing?
I want you to write the words on this paper in the margin like we did yesterday, and then you can put it in your proven binder. Yeah.
We need, was there another chair here?
No, it's right there.
Okay, I think I'll sit in a different chair. Okay, one more person.
Whitney! Is that on?
Maybe.
Hi! Is it on though?
No.
All right, now the best thing to do is to really show. We need to do our best with reading. Brittany, you can sit right over here. We'll get back in. We'll get a helper. Okay, let's warm up by reading Dad's Bathtub. Okay, we'll read it together. Ooh,
book is an easy book.
what happened to the rest of them? Can we share? All right, when people are reading, when they finish reading, you know what? You have to put them back in the crate so that all the books are here when we need them. Okay, I thought I had them all. What we'll do is we'll share. You two share. Kelly, will you and Amy share? Okay, or Nick and Katie, you share. You ready? Let's read. Dad's
Bath time.
Reading together. Ready, Amy?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Our
Our dad likes to take a bath. He sings in the tub. He sings in the tub. He lives and breathes in the
Katie, you share. You ready? Let's read. Dad's
bath time.
Reading together. Ready, Amy?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Our
Our dad likes to take a bath. He sings in the tub. He sings in the tub. He lives